dedicated map channel and 10 rotating options covering a selection of diverse players. You see there on your screen exactly who will be brought on up. If you want, Feed 3 features Tfue, a player spotlight. If you're repping the Oceanic region and you want to see the Twins play, there you go. You've got your dedicated feed as well. An awesome thing to see for the future of competitive Fortnite.
It's absolutely amazing. But Jack, everybody here wants to see the first game, and I've got good news. Ladies and gentlemen, the Fortnite World Cup Solos competition is about to begin. If you are here at Arthur Ashe Stadium, I need you to get as loud as you possibly can. 100 of the best players in the entire world are about to face off for $15 million. Jack, guess what? 100 players, the battle bus is loaded, 6, 5, 4, ladies and gentlemen, here we go.
Game 1 of 6 officially underway, and on your screen, all 100 players. Arguably the biggest day of their entire lives. The average age of competitors, just 16 years old. If you're a younger fan here in the audience, you dream of one day being here. If you're the same age, you look to your peers as people to look up to and aspire to be as good as one day. If you're a parent, I'm sure you can imagine what's going through these kids' minds. Here we go, folks. Tfue on your screen. Block has been his place forever, Dr. Lupo, and he is not shying away here in game number 1.
I had a chance earlier during warm-ups just talk to Tfue about this landing zone. The opinion was basically, I don't care who else lands here, I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna clear out every other opponent there and roll on through. He's got a chance to go up the hill potentially for ballers if those remain uncontested. He has a free legendary chest right here in the middle. And look at the inventory already. Blue pump shotgun, gold tactical AR, gold standard AR, a mini bandages. He's got brick for days here. The resources are incredible. A loadout already. He just needs some mobility. Maybe drop one of the ARs depending on ammunition at a certain point. Gotta find some shadow bombs. Even the redeploy might be worth it. We'll see if he swaps out. He actually puts down that tac AR and grabs a purple grenade launcher.
And the zone right there as well.
Oh my god.
Only one other player landed here. That's Clipnode. So it's going to be Tfue versus Clipnode for control of the block, unless Clipnode decides to say,
rotate away.
I've got a lot of respect for that gameplay. He knows block as well. Clipnode always landing here too. Will go ahead and fall away. And folks, I think as a sign of respect for Tfue as a player, they have forfeited the rest of block to this man, as he's already at 190 total HP and a fantastic inventory. Rotating here towards Fatal Fields. Class on your screen. Bucky there as well. Class currently with a little bit of a mixed inventory, but this is what we talked about yesterday. If you play Fortnite, you know that in the Fatal Fields core maze, there is loot. Well, guess what?
Just floor spawns all over.
Typically, you and I, I'm sure, Ben, break all the corn
100%.
down. We farm it on up. These players know the exact route of where the loot is while it's hidden in the corn because they've studied this area of the map so much. It's the little things that make the biggest differences. Class right now looting, and no one has any clue where he is.
Bucky in the long barn, grabbing. There's 2 chests spawn here, plus any of the floor loot possible along the way. Little side stalls, so quite a bit of wood to farm up. He's got a couple little forests. He's got the fork knife quarry there, plus the ship up top. He could take that slip all the way to the top. He's got an opportunity to travel basically uncontested early game, unless somebody maybe gets a couple shots from a distance. Meanwhile, over here at Mega Mall, Pika and Keenstar hanging out inside the shops. Quite a few chests, a lot of verticality inside. Tends to lead to audio-based fights and try and figure out whether your opponent is above or below and how much these players play. If they're keen on those audio cues, they'll know almost immediately.
Rotating now down to Lucky Landing. Boog on the screen. Stacey there as well. First stink bomb coming on through. Doesn't actually wind up connecting with too much. 16 builds in total. Now remember, we do play with siphon settings on. So if you get an elimination, you earn 50 HP. So if you're at 74 total health, you'll gain 26 HP to go to max and 24 shield. Also, when you get the elimination, even if the opponent has 0 materials, they'll still drop 50 of each material type. So there's a lot of, especially early game reward, Dr. Lupo, in securing some of these eliminations.
Now, Snazy right now with the top down on his opponent. It looked like he's trying to use the stinks and that proximity grenade launcher just to try and find even one hit, which at this point with such low ammunition, he's out of stinks now. He still has the 3 proxy grenade launcher shots. He's kind of burning through resources.
I was going to say, he sees those grenades. I was thinking exactly that, yep.
Well, just trying to find a bead at this point. He knows, based on the audio, Bugha is rotating back and forth in this little brick tunnel underneath. No tags quite yet, minus a little bit of HP with Stink earlier. Snazy still has the high ground here. Not a ton of materials, 18 builds. At some point, he's going to have to opt to either push this or rotate away, and now might be the time to rotate away, unless Bugha's going to push from behind. We'll see here. Big up.
Oh, wait, actually,
not
no,
even an upgrade. Never mind, he already has a gold combat number 4 slot there. Snazy, Bugha separating from each other a little bit, not necessarily pressuring. Early game pressure at game 1 of 6 for World Cup solos would be could be pretty advantageous to get that siphon. He's looking for a shot, the heavy snipe. Where it goes, and not quite enough. Bugha misses just behind as Snazy sneaks away higher floors of that north side building. And lucky.
Yeah, Bugha winds up seeing that middle cherry blossom tree get knocked down, and a lot of times in competitive games, players will just hit the trees down to 50 total HP left, but they won't fully remove them from the map because the animation of the tree breaking gives away your position. So if you want to make sure you stay a little bit more hidden in your games at home, only break trees down to 50 total health left and leave them. You'll get a ton of materials, but you'll also still remain as hidden as possible. Benji Fishy, a player with very high expectations for not only himself, but from the community here this weekend. Did play yesterday, I believe placed 14th with his duo, Mr. Savage. The first stink bomb comes on through, and with that damage, it looks like Benji Fishy wants a fight, but unfortunately does take 50 immediately from the back, and will go ahead and just give up his position for the moment.
A little bit of frustration on his face, and I can't blame him. Shots as he's attempting to push a little bit on Nate right there. Pleasant Park still inside the safe zone, so moving away from this doesn't have to happen just yet. We'll see. Nate takes an opportunity, rotates all the way across to that treehouse building in the southwest corner. Meanwhile, southwest of the entire map, Crew not alone down here. A little bit of a build fight back and forth, and they are not inside the zone. 91 players remain right now. Only 9 have gone down. It's early in the game. It's going to stay very, very high in the player count. Crew maybe waiting to see if that edit comes through. Doesn't quite. Storm waiting inside. We see this all the time. Just holding the edit inside the pyramid.
Yep.
He doesn't want to step out, potentially get shot. Rotate back down underneath and maybe check his other sides. Meanwhile, King led Wiki in a 1v1. King on the defensive. At this point, he might have the high ground. Oh my gosh, sneaks the shotgun shot in right before the ramp can go down.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Oh,
okay.
No. And you see King, a little bit of a smirk right there yesterday when we had a little bit of a, maybe I guess you could say trash talk in the game. It was Skeptic who winds up going down to Mongrel Mitro. This time I think King will live to see another fight, but ooh, I like some of this little spiciness to kick off game number 1. As he wins that fight with a quick wall retake and edit on through. Over to Neo Tilted, Creo, Hornet, and Clicks, currently within a couple buildings of each other, and you see on your screen on the backside, Lecce, Baw, and Mongrel still there as well.
Fluttermoy rotating through, looks like on a ball on the backside. Real quick, we'll put the replay up of exactly how that played out. Storm here, stuck inside that box just moments ago.
No.
Oh, full send into the air and does catch the shots there. The burst SMG proving useful even midair.
Burst SMG, probably not the exact item that players want, but still making use of it. Uh-oh, it's a corn fight. Dr. Lupo, you're used to this in Nebraska, as right now we've got
like
Rogue
home
Shark.
for me, Jack.
Yeah, this is, I mean, you've got a ton of skill in this one, as we see Rogue Shark currently dropping down the bandage for the moment. Already the ramp goes through, and Rogue Shark just wasn't ready for it, so he didn't catch what happened right there, Dr. Lupo. Quick little breakdown. The campfire was placed, he lost control of his wall, but because he had no pyramid inside his box, the opponent placed a ramp and then edited past the ramp for extra cover. It's one of the fastest but most effective ways to take out an opponent when they're inside their 1x1. Left Eye did just get an elimination, does use that shockwave to get away from Erouse, but solid start as well, and I believe I did just see a fan favorite in Vivid in the elimination feed picking up his first elim.
Storm starting to move. We have 56 seconds, my apologies, before the next circle closes, and it is a big crunch to the center of the map. You might not be able to see in the bottom right there, but folks, it is just northeast centered from Neo Tilted. Everyone is going to get pushed together into the city. Let's see here. Dubs. Very confident play, trying to push from the outside of Flint, knock from his opponent to rotate away, and Dubs does not want to let them go. 46 back-to-back hits, and he can't find a bead on Evil Mare. Goes down out here at the old Greasy Grove Ice Lake.
And you see Evil Mare with still just in total about 80 HP. Got the 50 back for the elimination, so when you calculate it, really only had about 30 health left. So Dubs so close, but not able to connect with that final combat shotgun shot. And Dr. Lupo, look at this inventory for Riverson for Team Liquid. 6 shockwave grenades, 2 minis, 3 chug splashes, a launch pad. Weapons a little bit awkward, if I'm going to be honest. Just a scoped assault rifle and a epic tactical shotgun. But Storm Surge is coming to play, and Dr. Lupo, we haven't really touched on that yet today. Inform the viewers at home as to exactly what this is.
So Storm Surge is a mechanic to prevent players from potentially sitting and not engaging in fights. If there are a certain number of players at this point, when there's over 70, when the circle closes, people are going to start to take 25 damage every tick. That's every 5 seconds, unless they are over the threshold for the amount of damage done in the lobby. It's a way to encourage players to get engaged in fights without having to force anybody. You can't really just sit still the entire time. You've got to get engaged, get involved with what's going on.
And it ends when we go below that threshold. Exactly. Bring up this first threshold, you have to drop below 70 players. So Storm Surge will remain in play right now until 69 players is reached. You see Booga with an elimination, Blaster with one as well. Players above the damage threshold sitting pretty right now, but players who are below it, they're frantically searching for some damage they can do to try to get themselves in a safe spot.
Aqua on your screen, one of the World Cup duo champions from yesterday, just outside of SD Divot. Shots inside here, Colorful trying to rotate back away, doesn't want to quite get caught just yet. Those splashes, by the way, one of the best healing items in the game right now in scrimmages and competitive Fortnite. An instant throw 20, and it's HP or shield. It will transfer across both. May not be able to get this off quite yet. It's got to cancel.
He did.
Oh, he did indeed.
Yep.
Kurtz applying pressure from the side. Not a lot of ammunition right now in the inventory. Only 70 medium rounds for that heavy AR. Not the favorite for a spray weapon. Great at tap fire at a distance, though.
Look at how dead center this zone is in the bottom right of your screen. Mr. Savage did just get an elimination down on him often. Mr. Savage still alive in this one. Looking to bounce back from yesterday. I know Mr. Savage wasn't too happy with the final performance. Kurtz still, we saw the player piece on him from Brazil, trying to rep for his family. Class elimination there as well onto Twins. And Storm Surge is now active. The players still above, so people will begin taking damage. And that's a solid chunk with that common tactical shotgun. But another player begins to throw their name into the hat. Dr. Lupo, Kurtz, no more shield left. We'll back up for the moment.
At this point, with the circle where it is, we've got 60 seconds before things start to close. And I would say maybe a third of the field is still outside of the next safe zone. You're going to see a lot of players pushing to Loot Lake. You have to realize, if you're watching at home, if you're here at Arthur Ashe Stadium, competitive Fortnite is very much about late game strategy and positioning. 74 players right now remaining does not surprise us in the slightest, to be honest, especially with how much money is on the line. Harrians goes down. You start picking up that one, but not enough damage dealt. You see the Storm Surge, 2 more players need to get eliminated.
I think he just got up now as players began to drop. So Wakey went down to the Storm, Skype with an elimination onto Astonish. So we are 1 player away from the end of Storm Surge, and there it is as we just hit the threshold. So now no more panic has to come through for these players for the moment. The next one will come into play in a couple more zones as Keenstar right now, the double qualified player from France, currently set on up against Envy's Bucky as they are within a couple boxes of each other.
Just going to see exactly where things move through here. Just want to hold these edits and look out. No reason to apply too much pressure just yet. He's kind of waiting to see other players that may be around him rotating away, and that's exactly the play. Bucky, by the way, a player that we've seen in competitive qualifiers. He actually spent some time talking to Hogman a lot to refine his gameplay and his drop, and we've seen a big improvement since then. Big shout out to Hogman for helping Bucky out with that one. all the way here to the World Cup solo finals.
Will he use one of the campfires in the inventory for 25 extra health?
It depends on it depends on the play. If he's looking towards late game, he's going to try and hold on to those for a heal off potentially when that final zone starts to close. We'll have to see. A quick reminder, by the way, on the right side of your screen, a victory royale. The win is worth 10 placement points. Those are big. Top 5 is 7 points. Top 15 is 5. Top 25 is 3 points, and every single elimination for these players is an additional point. Here we go, the focus of the current map right now. A lot of players out here on the hill. Northeast side of Neo Tilted, actually a pretty good spot. You have multiple slips nearby. While those are still on, you have to remember those do turn off. Sky picking shots, I believe that's on DRG, just to the south. More pressure applied there. He's trying to sneak any shot he can through. Actually, it's challenged. Surprises me, doesn't go for the build there to protect and get a better spot.
Wow, that's solid damage though.
Just go for it.
Solid damage, and look what's also on the ground right there. The legendary infantry rifle. Still can swap to that when needed. Right now, choosing to go with the spray weapon. This is a player that's close. We have a replay coming on in soon of Mega from FaZe, who played yesterday in the duos competition with Dubs. Dubs already dropped his game. We'll see how Mega plays this one. Gets in the opponent's box, 2 clean shots. And there it comes through, and near max materials, Slurp Juice as well as Chug Splashes will be sitting pretty with the inventory right there. The next zone did just pop on up, moving to kind of the eastern side of the current zone. And what we're seeing right now from Skite is Skite recognizes he's got extra materials back, so he's gonna run back, build out a little bit, grab the excess materials, and continue to tunnel with these mats. He's also juggling items over as well to still have the ability to use these whenever he would like to wish to in these next zones. Here's everyone on the map, a rocket being fired on the far side. Bizzle there, still on your screen. Commandment, Epic Whale. Prisionero still boxed up in metal just outside the zone, and Stompy, who was one of the more dominant European players in the online qualifier, still in this one, but Zate was in the lead with Saf yesterday, 5 of the 6 games, but in the end, not able to close it out. As you see, just continuing to spray, is above the damage threshold. This next threshold of players, Dr. Lupo, 50. So we're about a minute away before it activates. Bizzle with elimination, though, down on the Stacey.
At this point, too, you have a lot of players. Crunch is going to start to happen. Player count starting to dwindle. The loadout here in Zate's inventory, a single Shadow Bomb going to be used for rotation if he has to. Not quite yet, though. He's already in the next safe zone. That heavy sniper rifle, we just saw it moments ago, and he'll probably go for it again. He's going to knock out a wall and immediately swap to that legendary AR to try and take shots while the wall is gone, while the player may not be paying attention. This could be a big one right here. Immediate swap, a 69 shield pack, solid crit through the wall. They do box up, but it looks like at that moment he saw the box was being pressured from another player and decided to go for it.
Keep in mind,
here we go.
Keep in mind, no healing for Zate, so you can see just how cautiously he's taking these fights.
Oh yeah.
Also today in solos, there's no longer the threat, Dr. Lupo, of the double heavy sniper. Sure, we've seen solo players try to use it to their advantage by themselves, but it just is not the same effect. Lolboom, bottom right of your screen, Zate, top left of your screen, both with 2 eliminations so far, and here comes Storm Surge for players pushing on in. Not a threat for Lolboom as he's 409 above, but Karhu did just go down to that Storm Surge, so an unfortunate game number 1 there, and ooh, some free shockwave grenades to pick up Dr. Lupo will be extremely useful in these rotating zones, and oh man, Lolboom is eating this stink bomb. 50 damage, Dr. Lupo. Terrible, terrible spot to be in for Lolboom.
Lolboom, a solo Irishman, qualified for the World Cup here. Gonna have to push on through and try and make his way to the next safe zone. Multiple ballers on the outside. He might be able to grab that one in the water right there if he sees it when he pops out. We can see Vivid on your screen. Evil Mare still there as well. Psalm rotating in, multiple ballers still on the field.
Look at that build.
Look at the, yeah.
Oh
this is like a Fortnite World Cup apartment complex. You have countless players stacked in next to each other. Bizzle going for the edit reset, can't quite catch himself just yet.
Muga's still making plays happen. A lot of people have him high up on the leaders, and here it is again. Yarkos with the elimination from earlier on, down onto Aqua, who obviously was our Fortnite World Champion yesterday in duos. Rough start in game number 1. Bizzle one of the most consistent and winningest Fortnite pro players of all time, Dr. Lupo. When you say a veteran in Fortnite competitive, Bizzle is at the top of that list, but here's Yarkos again, now on the high ground after that first elimination down onto Aqua, looking for more right now as he's got ultimate high.
This is one of the best spots in the game right now. We'll have to see where the map is going to rotate, in north-northwest, so he's going to have to make a move soon. A very hefty weapon loadout. Not a whole ton of rotation. Does have the 2 launch pads, does have the redeploy, but those are going to leave you exposed up in the air. Little look back, King. Making rotation here. The feed starting to light up. 38 players.
Oh, yeah.
And that count is going to go down, down, down. Zate eliminated by Left Eye. Colorful taking up another one out as well. King, 4 eliminations. You have to remember, placement points don't kick in until top 25, so he only has those 4. But those are 4 very, very big points. Here we go, the Storm starting to pressure players. You're going to see a lot of launch pads and redeploys coming to play, and those community movement mechanics like launch pads placed on the ground would be tough. A player actually just flew right through King's box.
That could have been bad, Dr. Lupo. That could have been real bad.
Maybe a trap play from either player. We'll have to see here. Benji fishing the feed, taking another elimination. Top 35 now, Jack, as we're coming 30 seconds away from the next circle.
And Mr. Savage trying to contest Rux for height as they both continue to build on up. Mr. Savage goes for the shot. Rux gives it up for the moment. So game 1 right now, the height goes to Mr. Savage, but there's still a ton of time left. On the low ground right now, you've got Pika week, Class week, Fledermoy's week, Tuesday week as well. Mr. Savage has shot down Rux for the moment. He still continues to keep height. Yarkos, though, looking to challenge right now. 27 players left. Placement points about to come into play.
Yarkos takes the ultimate high in the backside there. Riverside from Team Liquid flying across right to left of your screen. Multiple players. Ultimate low ground warriors down there, both in and out of ballers. Class looks like he might be a campfire in the middle of it. Mr. Savage.
King had 7 limbs and has made it into placements. King absolutely the #1 performance so far in game 1. 120 in total HP. Can he find his limb? No! As the crowd erupts. Top 20 now, though, but King got the job done. There was 27 players left, Dr. Lupo. King eliminates the last 2 to make it a top 25 for the placement points.
Huge plays there. Waylon Kurtz going down to the feed. What a shot and a quick edit swap there. Bugha showing why he's one of the most active
Top 15.
players. Top 15. Mega with an elim. Your feed in the top left. One of the most important things to watch if you're looking for players' names. Here he's going to have to wait and bait players out. Movement now. Here it is. The Shadow Bomb for rotation. He's still got 2 more in his inventory, which this late in the game is huge. He does have 3 Shockwave grenades as well, in case height needs to be taken, or even a long-range rotation. 8 players remaining, Jack Yarkos. 4 eliminations. Everyone in here getting those placement points. Beam from above and goes down. Yeah. No builds. Going to be tough there. Saw him picking up that elim. Bugha, though, 5 right now moving forward.
But not only that, 2 Shadow Bombs left, still with Shockwave grenades too. The #1 point we've seen in competitive Fortnite this weekend, when do you use the Shockwave to go for height? It's Sam currently on height. Bugha sees that. That was him taking a look for exactly where the player is. I think it's time, Dr. Lupo. No, Shadow Bomb will be used. Okay, so not quite doing it yet.
You're looking for a high ground.
Yeah, I was looking to see.
He's saving those. Don't you worry. I guarantee before too long, a player like this is going to make plays. Sitting the edge of the Storm, the box up. He's going for edit shots. Big hit.
My gosh.
The outside. Bugha picking up his 6th elimination. Creo, Rux, Bugha all on the low ground. Bella EU.
One player to Shockwave the height. It's still Sam up top.
Still got it. Same floor as Creo. 1v1 up top. 1v1 on the bottom. Stuck in the box. Big hits. Back-to-back shots. Bugha picking up another elimination.
Bugha is insane
now. Almost going to be his game to win. We'll see here another one. Can he find the 9th elimination and the first victory royale, the World Cup solos?
Dr. Lupo, it might be time soon. It might be time soon. Bugha smiling. He's got the health advantage on Creo.
He does.
Folks, it might be time for the Shockwave play. Bugha could soar up into the sky. Go for it. Here it is. Shockwave to height. Shots coming in. No elimination yet for the first game victory royale.
Oh my gosh. Confident play from Bugha. What a monster. The first victory royale.
The crowd on their feet. Bugha, calm, cool, and collected, wipes out 5 of the last top 6 players. for the victory royale. What a swing of points right there, Dr. Lupo. You get the win, you get max placement points, 9 elims too. Folks, that is a statement game number 1 for Bugha, and here it is again. The shockwave up. Creo tried to prepare. You see the damage coming on through, but at that point, with that much of a health advantage, Creo stands no shot. What a brilliant ending. Talk about a great late game. Solos absolutely living up to the hype of the duo competition yesterday.
Imagine being in the World Cup Finals, and instead of opting for a safe, stay down the bottom, wait, bait your shots, you throw a shockwave down and you ascend to the high ground, take over, and get the victory royale.
Much deserved game 1 victory right there. The number one thing I noticed from Bugha, in the shadow bombs, so many people worry so much about popping out of the shadow and immediately boxing and protecting themselves. Instead, Bugha winds up pushing forward, looking for where his next victim could be, and then pops out of the shadow and eliminates the player. It happened 3 times right there, and it was big reasons why he was able to push on through. Bugha, an incredible performance. What is that, 19 points in game number 1?
Game number 1.
I don't see how anyone's above that.
At this point, I mean, we're going to take a look exactly to see where
like I predicted
that falls on the leaderboards. No surprise here, a 9-point lead out of game 1. King, 7 eliminations. We saw that earlier. Sadly, goes down a little bit before those top couple placements. Psalm, Rux, Yarkos, ton of top-tier players across the board right now. But a 9-point lead after game 1 is absolutely incredible.
And you look at the leaderboard right now, a big talk of yesterday, EU versus NA. EU, why so quiet earlier in the day? NA, why so quiet at the end of the day? 8 of the 10 top players after game 1, all from the US. Here's your 11th through 20th place right now. Benji Fishy on there, Evil Mare on there as well. But a fantastic start to today, and I'm loving the energy from this crowd at the first ever Fortnite World Cup. They saw how good the competition was yesterday, and I know everyone was so excited to kick it off today with millions watching online. They saw Bugha take game number 1. He's down on the floor with Jordan Fisher.
Bugha! Huge first game for the NA player. That's what you want to see. You want a health advantage at the end. 9 elims to cap off an incredible first game. What is your thought process going into the final moments of in-game, right? A 1v1 there at the end, you've got health advantage. What are you thinking?
Well, I'm pretty much low ground. I have like 200 mats, and I realized that I could probably make a play with the impulse, just go for A and just like get a big pump on him.
Amazing. Well, we saw that happen in real time. An amazing clutch for an end of a first game for Bugha. Yo, Jack, Lupo, that is exactly what you want to see, is it not?
I mean, I don't think you can really ask for much more than that. A victory royale and 9 elims. The man is so talented, has always been one of the top solo players in the North American region, and he shows it right there in game 1, and already a 9-point lead. Solid stuff.
What an incredible game out of the gate already. Number 1 down. We have 5 left to go. We want to take a look and see exactly how some of those pieces played out, how everything worked, and maybe a little bit of a deep dive into how some of these players play. So we're going to throw it over to Sundown at Unreal Island to take a look.
Thank you so much, Lupo and Courage. And while Bugha was able to dominate the rest of the lobby, I want to take a look at one of the other most marquee and aggressive players we saw. He had the entire lobby saying, "Toda salve al rey de Argentina." It is King of 9Z with an incredible 70 elimination run in 20th place. Let's take a look at some of this gameplay. So right away, you'll notice, what is he doing? He's his patented going forward wall replace on land 123. That's going to be the theme of these clips. He doesn't miss his shots, and he's not afraid to flex either. Throwing the donkey laugh out there, throwing him a little love, saying, "I don't care who you are." Now he's sitting on the 4 elims. He's in the box fights, and he's constantly looking to pick up new targets. Replaces the wall from the side, turns around, and picks up a great elimination there onto Bucky in the rotation. But now watch on the spree he's on. 5 elims right now. Cones himself off. Look at this. The player challenges him. He's not building. He's going at him. He says, "If you want to fight me, I shoot first. I am the king, was able to go, but unfortunately gets caught there in the rotation, but still a brilliant performance from the young Argentinian. He's looking to challenge, he's looking to frag out with the best of the best, putting himself currently sitting in the #2 spot. He has played so absurdly well in that first game. This is what it's all about. If you can bring your aggression, what you do in the qualifiers, and take it to this stage, and you don't have nerves. If you're like Booga and say, I'm gonna go. If you're like King and say, you wanna edit, I'll shoot first. I'll take the 50 health on Elim there, and I will take the point in staying in the match. You can wait and watch me dominate. Let's get into match 2, because that first match was insane. Courage and Lupo, take it away, guys.
Sundown, thank you so much. Appreciate the quick analysis of everything that happened in the middle of that game. A lot of action here at the Fortnite World Cup solo competition. This is the last day for the entire event as well. I hope everyone has enjoyed Marshmallow's concert. We have tons of people here in the crowd.
Yeah.
Absolutely, it's just been ridiculous, so much fun.
My Italian family was out there, 25 people deep. They've got a full deli layout. Unfortunately, my Aunt Lorraine down in Florida, I know you're watching. Shout out, we love you, miss you. But no, they're all here for their first ever event too. It is an incredible energy in here. And you know, guys in the venue, do you guys want to see another Fortnite World Cup next year? Should we do this again?
I'm thinking, yeah, Jay.
All right, budget's approved, Epic, it's happening. But folks, let's get back into the action. Game number 2 about to begin. Booga, the superstar of Game 1, the talk on all social media with the hashtag Fortnite World Cup. What a play. The lobby is ready. The players are ready. Ladies and gentlemen in the venue, are you ready? Game 2 of the solos competition here at the Fortnite World Cup Finals starts right now.
After last game, I have a feeling you're going to see maybe potentially more contested drops and players vying for those points, seeing exactly what can be done now. Booga bringing home 9 eliminations in that first game. I think the next 2 closest were 7-4, and then everybody was below that. The Arcos, I think, having 4, King with 7. Going into game 2, Jack.
Yep.
Knowing that we still have 5 remaining, knowing that based on the leaderboards from yesterday, that 17 points at one point separated first and last. And by the way, a quick note, we can see the mini-map, but I think Tfue, yeah, there it is.
There it is.
I'm pretty sure Tfue has the block all by himself. Again, Clipnote didn't want to challenge it this time.
No one nearby at all, and also on that map, look at the 2 llamas. Right outside a racetrack. It looks like one player's about to go claim him. Also, Bizzle, who basically lands in Dusty Divot uncontested, I believe already got a llama in this one. So some great movement will be up there for them. Here again, the stats for last match. First place, the Victory Royale, 19 total points because of those 9 elims. Sitting pretty, 5 games away from $3 million.
I have to say, I feel like after one game, seeing an average placement stat of first, that's something I would screenshot just to hold on to. Yeah,
best player in the world.
I averaged first through all the games that have been played.
Here is Aqua versus Twins Aqua, as we can't stress enough, our Fortnite World Champion from yesterday in duos. Only with a common SMG is Twins, and pumps being missed left and right from Aqua. And I'm going to tell you right now, Aqua's going to be upset with himself on that one, Dr. Lupo. That was a sloppy fight from both sides. I'm going to say it right now. Those early game fights can be very, very awkward, but we also have the first elimination, what we saw earlier.
Gosh.
And it was Bizzle with the common pistol, and then says, here's your reward. A llama that was looking at a nice view from the top of Dusty Divot.
Kovacs out of his mind. By the way, a quick note here. Twins had 46 elims in his qualifying matches. That's so many eliminations to get to this point.
Yeah.
Over 10 games, that's huge.
And most players didn't even get to play the full 10, so you got to think Twins did pop off in his region when it was going on
right
through.
There.
Yep.
2 shadow bombs, already has a flint knock sitting on minis and a pump. Solid early game loadout. Going to need to pick up maybe one more movement ability, depending on whether or not he wants to keep the flint knock in his inventory. We'll have to see. Still hopefully looking for a slurp at some point. MQ and Mr. Savage not far from each other. Takamura, Clarity G also in Happy Hamlet, my least favorite drop, I'm going to be honest with you, but a lot of these players know exactly where the chests are and know exactly how to get there as fast as they can. And there are so many materials down here. This also is one of the highest chest spawn counts in the entire game. This POI is insane.
Yeah, I believe 29 possible chests or something along those lines. But as MQ says, you know what? Let me roll away for right now. We'll give that to Mr. Savage. Over to Snobby Shores. It's Hornet putting the spray down with that heavy assault rifle. Only 19 AR shots left, Dr. Lupo, so we'll have to use them wisely here. 8 players have dropped so far in the zone. We're in a southwestern side zone on this one, so already some good variation between the zones in Game 1 and Game 2. Hornet will continue to move slowly but surely over to Nyx. So again, looking at the map, looks like a lot of players still outside the zone as you'd expect, but they'll begin to rotate on through as the first storm will close.
Boy, plenty of time to make decisions. Force engagement there. The tree disappears, and that drum shotgun spewing shells out. Going to push inside the box. Can't quite get the wall if the trap was placed. No luck there. Doesn't have one in the inventory. Nyx still trying to apply as much pressure as possible without having to chew through too many rounds. Reload here. The drum shotgun. So much damage dealt with this thing so far. Wouldn't be surprised if he goes in for it here in just a second, and he does. Watching that corner, Hornet still on the defensive. Long-range spray from a drum shotgun isn't enough, but up close, the thing is very, very deadly. Nyx picking up first elimination for him in this game.
Also with the emote after the eliminations. That's 2 so far. This is spicy.
Jack, you love
I mean, I love this.
You love it.
I get like 1 limit for every 3 games. So every time I have the option to vote on an opponent, it's fantastic.
A very important note there. Nyx had the most eliminations in the online opens at 61 during his qualifying week. That's crazy.
Here's the inventory for Tfue right now. 4 minis, 3 big shields.
Good lord.
4 shadow bombs.
Good lord.
A launch pad, a legendary infantry rifle, a blue pump shotgun. Tfue set up for the rest of this game, nearing max materials as well. This is what happens when you give this man block all by himself.
Nobody wants to challenge here, but it's one of the best loot spots in the game. Gobab's over on the right side of your screen, going to try and take that southeast corner building, see if there's anything left inside. But there's so much loot here at the block, so many materials, so many opportunities to get an advantageous position too, because you're right up the hill, like I said before. This baller spawns up there. Those are going to get grabbed pretty quick, but if they don't, if you're lucky enough, you have free rotation as well. It's also not terribly far from a slipstream to the south, just past the umbrella quarry down there. Meanwhile, Mr. Savage stuck in a 1v1 down here at Happy Hamlet. There's actually 3 players total. My apologies. You see on the mini-map in the bottom right there. They can't see those arrows, but we definitely can. And Crew and Takamura still down inside in the building. And audio cues trying to listen for each other. Takamura, you see, not really moving. Crew trying to do some wall replacing to build up a little bit of a material buffer in case fighting does happen here. I think Mr. Savage is going to rotate out.
Here is Tfue with a player just in front. It's like a fight he's potentially looking to take. Not sure exactly what the health is of the opponent just ahead, but you got to think, okay, so there is a health advantage. Maybe Tfue did a bit of damage as Kluja will begin to heal on up. So it does look like Tfue damaged a player, thought about challenging, but for right now, we'll just box for a moment. They are very, very soon going to have to move towards the zone.
If you're watching online and you get an opportunity here to clip some shots from Tfue, it's going to be very accurate. We've seen it before, and we'll see him again with that infantry rifle. One of the best in the game.
That was kind of greedy from Tfue. He has a ton of materials. I think he didn't expect his opponent to challenge and go for a shot, but because he tries to save a couple walls of wood, has to pop one of those big shields, and Kluja says, you know what? I'm out of here, and the zone's already there, so Tfue has a long trek ahead of him. Might have to decide if he's going to use a launch pad here. Probably not, as he does have the slipstreams down below, but still will take some damage from the storm.
If there is a rift spawn up at the burger, he can take the zip across, jump off midway through, and go down and grab it. We'll see.
Bugha eliminated to start off this game in 90th place. So our game 1 winner out early on, which means that that 9-point lead will surely be cut down as this one goes on. Quick thing I want to remind everyone of, yesterday we were nearing the #1 trend in the world on Twitter. I'm going to challenge all of you right now. Use the hashtag Fortnite World Cup across everywhere. Send in how you're watching today. Let me know who you think's going to win. Hashtag Fortnite World Cup everywhere from the millions of you all tuning on in. Can't stress that enough. Let everyone know that the largest event, one of the largest events of all time, concludes today with a $30 million prize pot in total throughout the weekend.
Keenstar holding an edit here. Stuck in a little stalemate. He's going to hold that side, look for the shot. Can't quite find it. Player backs out of that. Not fast enough to get
Mr. Savage goes down to Mega.
Big names eliminated early in this game 2, the World Cup solos. Keenstar holding this edit yet again, just trying to wait and watch to see if he's going to spot this player and make a move. This might be an opportunity to make a play here. Twins kind of baiting the ultimate high ground here. Quick little resets, going to go for a wall replace. Does get it. Pressure applied, going to jump up. He built the ramp preemptively to defend against any shots. Here it is, a shot from the side does make contact. Twins down to 90 total HP. Big hit there with the shot. He can try and rotate up on the outside, getting pressured against the edge of the storm, and a build-off is kind of the only answer at this point. Quick, and it's down. Doesn't quite find that the player inside ahead of him has the lead. Another big hit, 14 HP left for Twins. A build fight is all he's got left. He could shadow and try and get away, but if the player inside is smart enough, Keenstar knows exactly where to shoot. Twins is going to go down. We'll see here. One pump is all it takes, though, with this thing. 150 HP.
Oh my gosh.
Almost going down there. No shield remaining. A back and forth between these two titans of Fortnite. And there it is. Keenstar finding the lead with the shotty there, and Twins eliminated.
Move towards Storm Surge kicking on in. I do want to point out where this next zone is. Spoke to production. We'll bring that back in for you all to see just how insane zone number 2 will be for everyone on this map.
Actually, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, because they have a long, long run ahead. Look at that.
All the
a third
way
of
to
the
the
zone
south side.
Off the map.
Not only are you forced all the way to the bottom of the map, you've got nothing on the south end of the safe zone. The players going to get compressed together. I would expect going into circle 3 or 4, you're going to see a very low player count in comparison to last game. We're already down to 75, and Storm Surge now getting ready to kick in. You have 5 players that need to go down before damage starts to go out to those that have not dealt enough of it.
Yep.
Multiple players bunkering up here at Happy Hamlet. Not a whole lot of real estate left. Shots going out there. You heard that minigun, one of the very, very good weapon for applying pressure to structures, especially when you see other players are taking shots at the same target. Let it fight the top left of your screen there. Replay between Niddle, opponent inside the box. Caught above, but headed down. Can't quite find the first shot. Follows through with a second, third, fourth, and the elimination.
He had 1 health left. If you looked after the 50 health was earned, he was stuck at 50, meaning he was under 1 HP. He had effectively 0.9% health and goes down right there. His opponent can't win the fight as he's rewarded. Nakamura on your screen, 179 total HP, and that's a tough battle you have here, Dr. Lupo. Do you use your last healing item in the big shield for only 21, or do you hope maybe 179 health is enough for the next fight? It's a double-edged sword, a tough decision to make. Storm Surge still active. 4 more players need to go down before it ends.
Trying to get the wall there, can't quite find it. Quick edit up and out.
Solid
Gonna make the rotation away. Waiting. This is just an opportunity. He's basically trying to bait to see if the player inside is gonna head out. Shockwave. Lecce hits the tree. It might cost him. Pressure being applied now. The 1v1 not over quite yet. Combat shotgun from above right here will be very effective. The spread from a top-down position like this is like a guaranteed crit. Here we go. Shot from behind, can't quite make contact yet.
Zone now hitting for 2 as well.
Player's gonna have to go for it very soon. Here we go. Another shockwave to push away. Storm Surge is active, he's way above, and those bandages are gonna be key to survival. We'll see. I guess the swap in position. Lecce took the high ground temporarily here.
They're at a point now where they basically just, one of them needs to get in a fight. One of them needs to win this fight if they want to survive for the 50 extra health. Lecce slowly taking this damage, 2 ticks every second, and it's going quick. Dr. Lupo now down to just 12 HP. This could be done here momentarily. Just shot, no!
Yes.
Moffin wins it with the quick shotgun to the dome, and you see, using 4 bandages, the 50 health puts him back up to 100. It should be enough to move on in. Storm Surge now over as well, and the next zone just popped up, and it's even more southwest. Tfue still alive in this game. So far, 0 eliminations, still though with this magnificent inventory for the late game.
I just want to say that the bait outside in the storm, forcing your opponent to take damage knowing that they're not healing to their own HP, basically a way of weakening them, and then you choose the time to engage, means you don't even have to be as active as before. Got a shotgun. Tfue take a couple shots, and that player on rotation with the Shadow Bomb. A little more difficult to see them since they're basically invisible. They are a shadow.
Yeah.
Oh, is that why they call it a Shadow Bomb, Jack?
Not entirely sure yet, as I'm still figuring that out. Tfue not safe in the next zone. Is he going to use the launch pad? He's going to try to use whatever his opponent places down right here. Oh,
no damage being applied. Give an attempt to try and bait. Does put down that launch pad. Here we go. Thought for a second he might go for the zip. Chooses not to. Flying past multiple players in
Shadow Bomb.
Move. And here we go. Shots from the backside. Pressure being applied on Tfue, and he's going to have to box up for just a second. There it is. Shadow Bomb and door edit. He'll make it a move on the outside. He is in the shadow form still, and you can keep this by jumping against the wall.
That was not a good Shadow Bomb, I can tell you right now.
Gotta be disappointed there. Big hit from above, down to 55 HP. Tfue, the edit from the outside, and he is eliminated by King.
And look who it is again. King, the player with 7 eliminations in game number 1, keeps the aggression going in game 2. The heavy sniper that immediately destroys that wall and is rewarded with incredible loot, almost max builds as well. Tfue, a very quiet start to today's World Cup competition.
Here's that elimination on Tfue, shot from above. A little bit of shield damage, but a big hit from the outside. Using the heavy snipe to take that wall almost instantly. Very intelligent play there. Again, more aggressive players we've seen thus far.
Yep, it's working out up to this point.
Oh my gosh, this is back down at Happy Hamlet, right on the edge. So many players on the east side of the safe zone, and this is a far southwest. Remember, about a third of it is in the water right now. Nobody's on the island, the outside. We're going to see where this goes next. There it is, focused just to the west. That submarine atop the ice mountain right there.
But look at how many players are stacked on the right side of that zone. So if you're currently in this next zone on that north or east side, you can put a ton of damage downrange as everyone has to move right at you. You see Karu does go down to Diego GB in your elimination feed. A drop coming on through. Crew boxed up, Creo boxed up. Rux under 100 health, has to play this one safely, but they are so far on the east side of the zone. The storm is going to move quite quick, Ben. And they've got to be ready for it. There's already the first shockwave used. Rux trying to shoot them from behind. Not able to get an elimination there. Class so far away. Will use the launch pad and just begin to move towards this circle.
You have to think at this point with both placement and eliminations before too long here. King maybe taking an opportunity to push into the first place position on the leaderboards, especially with Bugha going down so early in this game, 90th place.
I love this outfit from Rux right now.
He's a dinosaur.
No, I'm talking about his real life outfit.
He's a dinosaur.
He's set up to play in the Fortnite World Cup at 1, and then he's got a dinner date at 7:30. So good for him.
Listen, class is everything, Jack.
I mean, the guy looks great. I'm going to give a shout out for that. Best dressed, 2 extra points. A Fortnite World Cup champion right there, Rux. But
only a 6 damage tag from the side there. Didn't have to panic too much. That I would panic a little more about.
When you have no movement, in that part of the zone, it's literally exactly what I just spoke about. King on your screen, but also something we haven't spoken a lot about, Reverse 2K. Duo with Ninja, unable to qualify together for this competition, but did make it into solos, and now seeing what he can do by himself. Was on the far side of this zone, so also not a fun spot by any means.
Quick note, King currently has the highest damage in the match, 574, meaning, like I said, that aggressive gameplay. Still in it, still trying to win, still trying to get the beat on players, and a quick beam on Aspect up the ramp, caught off guard by an edit play. A shot through the wall, gets the follow through with the edit. Nate goes down. He is playing out of his mind right now.
King reminds me of like Vinny and Zextro back from the earlier duo competitions when they would just try to fight anyone they saw. King, 7 eliminations in game 1, now 4 eliminations in game number 2, and there's still 42 players remaining. And there is only one person in the next zone that just popped up, Dr. Lupo. It is as far west as possible, and look at those arrows frantically moving on over as everyone knows prime real estate is available. This is one of the most insane zones I've seen. Look at, no one's in it. No one's in it.
Quick couple notes about King, one of our players from Argentina. He is the minimum age required in order to play in the Fortnite World Cup. The 13-year-old savant.
Wait, King is 13?
He is indeed.
My goodness. He's
Jack
got
is
11
a million times better than both of us combined.
Yeah, I mean, that is absolutely ridiculous to think about. Cosmic on the height. Vivid is still alive in this game. Artpro is still alive in this game. Draken's still alive in this game. What does King use here? Looks like will again place the launch pad, and what you saw right there, a ramp placed backwards to bounce off of it so he doesn't go all the way up. It's basically a sitting duck up in the air. Kind of flows quite quickly towards the opposing player. King, imagine winning $3 million as a 13-year-old. I mean, I think I would have bought like a Razor scooter when I was that age.
Probably.
And enough ice cream to, well, don't really know where I was going with that one, but to be honest, there's going to be a lot of ice cream.
Surprised that food's the topic here. The push through the air. King getting aggressive into the next safe zone. Here we go. Going to have to hold a wall for just a moment. Little drop down. I like this repositioning. He doesn't want to remain on the same elevation. He's got multiple floors now in case he needs to take a drop there. Yarkos gets beamed from the side. Limited by Scalar. Arkram in the feed, pick it up, and Elim on Bella EU. Dubs, Bucky, multiple players still in this game on your screen. Clicks taking out Cease in the feed.
29 players left is the big thing to note. Four more from placement points, which if you make it to top 25, instantly 3 points earned. That is on the mind of every player still remaining, and the zone's still moving west now.
Shots through. Minigun, a quick swap there, picks the shotty back up. Interesting little play on the fly there from Zell. Trying to do just enough damage to the wall. Here we go. Shockwave. Gonna look for optimal placement. Maybe a little bit of time to disrupt the Shockwave into a Shadow Bomb. 9,000 IQ.
I didn't even know you could do that.
Get all the way across the map and take as high on the mountain as possible. Very excellent play there for positioning the King, the star of the show thus far for game 2. 5 eliminations. We are in the top 25 for placement now, so those points go out. And that's got to push King even higher on the board.
Yeah, King was already surging towards the top of our leaderboards. Now could very well be after this game. King spraying on through with the submachine gun. Players moving as fast as they can over this mountain. The left side of your screen, now the full screen. Mku still moving through. Look at how fast he can tunnel. Benji Fishy still alive in this game, just took down Drakens. Down the hill we go. Road Shark on height right now, but we'll need to waterfall down for a moment. Vivid still baller on up. King down to just 40, 30, 20, 15 HP. Under 10, no, still 17 HP. Will only be at 42 effective health. I mean, if he gets any further than this, it'll be an absolute miracle. And no, down goes King, but I think one of the crowd favorites beginning to emerge today. Fantastic performance at this point. Benji Fishy goes down as well.
A little bit of a crowd building up behind him. Dubs still in a baller at the bottom.
Top 15.
Star sitting on 2 eliminations in this. The entire field is at the bottom of your screen on the left with Road Shark remaining up top, forced into the drop. Let's get away. Looks like a Shadow Bomb to save from any fall damage. Vivid beamed on the rotation up to the ultimate high ground.
Vivid's on height.
Still there too.
Vivid's on height.
It's an opportunity here. Can capitalize and take shots on all these players rotating. At this point, Vivid's best bet is to force players out of ballers into fights. You don't want to let them remain inside and safe. If you pop them out, it may be an exposed position. Other players will take shots, and that's going to get you in a better place.
Look at the ballers. The ballers beginning to scale the mountain. Vivid, I think, still has high ground. Has time to pop a mini by chance? Nope, nothing as of yet. Now the fight for height begins. Vivid building on up. Arkram in your elimination feed now into our top 10. Issa, the controller god as many regard him as, takes down Sam. Another one onto Thatch too. So Issa from Europe getting involved in this game as well. Vivid and Road Shark all the way on high ground. Still multiple ballers in play. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Fortnite World Cup Solos competition. This is game 2 of 6, and oh no! Vivid has lost the high ground, but he says no! This is mine, young man! And takes it right back. No mats! No mats! No life! Vivid is out of this game. But he got the limb. He got the limb on the Road Shark.
He's at 2 eliminations, sitting in the middle of the pack right now. 7 players remaining. The end of game 2 right before your eyes, folks. 120 total HP. He can't spend any time out of the zone right now. Player going down inside the box. Can't quite get in. One right behind outside. Can't find a beat. Issa goes down, placed in 4th. A 1v1. Dubs, the ultimate high ground. The crowd cheering behind him, looking to see if he can capitalize on this advantageous position.
Down low, it's Dubs versus Skite.
A little bit of a build-off between the two, layering defensively against each other, but Dubs,
no builds.
One build. The flint knock to save him on the drop might be the play, just outside ahead of the build. Maybe can catch himself.
Oh my gosh,
on his opponent. Around, inside the storm. This might be it. Shockwave into the flint knock, into the safe zone, doubling back, another one, a valiant effort. He's got to find a bead, but he won't be able to do it. Ladies and gentlemen, game 2 goes to Skite.
Skite had 27 health left, 8 HP. If he took one hit from the storm, he was dead, but he clutches on up. We heard in the interview earlier, he said, I'm gonna play my game, win, do what I do best, and Skite does it there. Dubs, what a valiant effort. Look at that. Look at it, Skite's HP. Literally one storm tick would have been enough, but Dubs had no mats left and unfortunately didn't wind up making it up that mountain. Skite just wins, and there you see the celebration. Game 2 goes to EU as Skite comes out on top.
Single elimination, 11 points for Skite. Gonna be great for the leaderboard. We'll have to see exactly where they end up. But a big, just honestly, a maximum effort from Dubs was insane to try and stay inside. Absolutely incredible. Here's your leaderboard as it stands right now. First place being held by Bugha. 9 elims, 19 points from that first game. No showing in the second game, but it's still enough to keep him all the way at the top. But King, slowly climbing his way up to the top, just behind now by only 1 point.
Folks, King can't drive because he's 13, but he can win $3 million today. When you talk about lives being changed, it's what the Fortnite World Cup Finals is all about. And now our crazy 9-point lead is down to just 1, 1st through 10th within arm's reach. Our top 20 absolutely there as well. This is still anybody's game.
Saying the spread between 1st and 20th still very, very close. Anybody can climb all the way to the top in an instant, as we've seen countless times of the 10 weeks of qualifying all the way to here. New York City for the Fortnite World Cup, and this is the final day. Jack, today we give away $15 million in prizing.
It is absolutely crazy.
It's insane.
The energy in here so far today. I'm sure everyone's having a blast watching. Games 1 and 2, fantastic. So much happened, even more than we could probably even take in, and that's why we've got great people like Balla to help us out.
Thank you so much, Courage. Yes, I'm here. We have a ton of awesome plays, a lot of action unfolding in that game. I'm gonna help break it down. We're gonna hop in with King, who got so many eliminations this game, no placement points. But if you recall, the beginning of this, nice tags here, gets the player white damage. He knows he has health. He knows he just has only health, no shield. He just continues forward and goes for the box fight. In the second zone, the zone is about to start coming in. He has no fear, the aggressiveness of the player, and the double edit makes him fall right back into his own box that he had a floor on already, gets the cone on top. That's Leleo, another player from South America, but he continues to take out big names, and here is Tfue. He tags him a little bit, but then pulls out the heavy sniper right as Tfue takes the box. And because of that, that came as a surprise to Tfue that he could bring out the heavy sniper, take the wall right in that instance. Usually he'd be expecting the pickaxe on the wall, but the heavy sniper, speed. Now King, continuing to look forward, continue to look towards the zone where players come from. It's Aspect that he takes out. That's 3 eliminations, but he goes on forward and grabs another one with great awareness onto Nate. So unbelievable play from here. King is just racking up elims. Again, no placement points in this game, but he still pushed himself within distance of Bugha, who Bugha went down earlier there. He took out Clicks as well in the box. And this is, he's taken out Aspect, he's taken out Tfue, he's taken out Clicks. These are some of the best box fighters in the world. But now, King, he's saying, hey, I'm here at the Fortnite World Cup. I am one of the best box fighters in the world as well. So guys, that's King, the story so far. He's climbing the ranks, he's inching ever so closer to Bugha. Gentlemen, back to you.
Great stuff, Bala, and yeah, a fantastic breakdown of how King has made it up to our second place spot so far. We were only a third of the way through today's competition on the road to crowning a Fortnite World Champion. Thoughts after games 1 and 2?
I love to see the aggressive gameplay from King and others. Those kind of plays you don't often see in the Fortnite World Cup or really any competitive play. A lot of players are waiting for those opportunities to maybe get shots on players that are moving, that kind of thing. It's been great to see, and obviously a crowd favorite here, as we've heard people erupt every time he pushes into another box. What about you thus far?
Crazy action. I'm really interested to see how these different landings continue. We've already seen games 1 to game 2, people switch up their spots, land at different areas, and sometimes it's come back to bite them. All I know is, though, that's going to do it for us two for right now. We'll be back later today, but down on the floor we have Zeke with some more information on our players.
Thank you so much, Lupo Courage. Man, what an insane first 2 games here on the first day, or the final day of Solos competition. Booga with insane shockwave play to give him the high ground. And then here, Skype, his positioning on point, which gave him the win over Dubs. I mean, you guys, and of course, the Marshmallow performance. If you guys are here, how have you enjoyed the day so far? What do you think? Some of you are still sleeping. Guys, what do you think? This is it, the final day! There it is. You're awake. I appreciate that. Now, of course, guys, we've been getting through this Fortnite action all weekend long. But don't forget, we actually had creative happening earlier on Friday. Now, if you remember, there was a certain team captain with a great crew. They won, and they became the first ever Fortnite World Cup creative champions. And that was the Fish Fam, led by team leader Scissors. Now, we felt we probably should go ahead and check up on him, see how things are going for him. So let's go ahead and do that.
Kitty Plays, and we're here in the player lounge right now, joined by the winners of the Creative World Cup. First of all, congratulations. Now, Scissors, how does it feel now to solidify that title?
It's kind of awesome considering I love creative mode. It's thriving, it's awesome, I love it.
Now, Tyler, did you ever believe that you guys would secure the position here today?
Yeah, I always knew we had it in the bag. You know, we're the week 1 qualifiers. We're the most stacked team. There was no competition. Just when the last map was a death run, I knew we had that in the bag. We got some good players here. I knew Zan would clutch up, and he did just that.
You could tell he lifted the finger. He said, we need 1 coin. Just grab this coin right down here. If he can do this without being eliminated.
Here it is. The win. Oh, he missed it, but gets it with the trap trigger.
You realize that that one jump won this group here an extra $1 million. It's unreal.
Like, if you want to practice with death runs, you need to, like, do it slow. Don't go in blindly. Like, try and, like, change everything you do every time you fail.
Suzu, can you see yourself doing even more with creative? I mean, the success of today. Will you continue to go and play creative maps?
I think I would definitely stay consistent with creative because I feel like there's a lot of potential in creative still. And yeah, definitely this is my thing.
But I want to go down the line and see what each of you guys plan on doing with that prize.
I'll probably end up like saving most of the money, maybe like some investments.
He's 18 and he just won $336,000. Yeah. What are you going to do with the prize?
Rent? Rent. Yeah, I think rent.
I'm gonna be responsible, I'm gonna save my money.
I am gonna be responsible and probably just invest most of it and try and get even more money back.
All right, guys, congratulations again. Absolutely outstanding job. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I cannot wait to see what the future of Creative Fortnite looks like.
Once again, massive props to Scissors and the Fish Fam. They worked as a unit, and that's what got them the dub in the end. The grandfather of creative shows up huge here on this stage. Now, of course, guys, we know you want to get back into games. I want to get back into games too, but first, let's just make sure they give a little bit of a break to the players. We'll hop back in as soon as we can. Now, I did talk about creative a little bit, but don't forget, we also had that celebrity pro-am. Players and people from different walks of life all came together to take part on this stage and play for charity. Now, of course, we had Ninja and Marshmallow, your 2018 Pro-Am defending champions that faced off against Airwalks and RL Grime, your Summer Block Party Pro-Am champions. And the winners in the end were actually Grimes and Airwax. They are 2-time Pro-Am champions. So let's actually check in with them and see how they're doing.
I'm here in the player lounge right now, joined by our Pro-Am winners, Arl Grimes and Airwalks. Wasn't totally expecting you'd win 2 in a row. Can you walk me through those final moments?
It felt really good. I don't think I would have won if I didn't have him.
Now, Arl Grimes, you were holding your own, you were keeping up, you were staying alive, you were getting eliminations. How did you change your playstyle from last Pro-Am to this Pro-Am?
I think we learned a lot from the last one, just that you should focus on late game a little bit, and I just sort of let him lead the way and made it happen.
How did it feel to play with a potential World Cup duo winner?
It's amazing. I'm actually going to come tomorrow and sit in the stands and cheer for my man Airwalks, yeah.
Maybe make an Airwalks sign and wave it in the air?
Maybe a 98 bot sign. I'll hold it up.
Good luck on the event tomorrow. Congratulations on winning. Congratulations on winning. Incredible, incredible gameplay throughout Fortnite World Cup Pro-Am.
Man, Grimes and Airwax coming in clutch. Very happy for those two, but I'm actually happy for this guy right here. This is one half of your Duos World Champions. This is Nyrox. I need you guys to make some noise right here, right now. Show him that you love him. How does that make you feel? You got all these crowds.
That's great. Feels amazing.
There you go. Now, Nyrox, let's chat a little bit, right? Because you played yesterday, like I talked about, in the duo competition. Your partner, Aqua, is actually playing today in the solo competition. So what advice did you give him heading into these games?
I told him earlier this morning that he should stick with the plan we had yesterday. And even if he has a bad start, he can still make a comeback like we did. And he can still take the trophy home.
That's pretty good advice, pretty good advice. Now, you're already a world champion. You've got the title. So how does it feel now that you've got this title, you're here, you get to experience this and watch the solo competition? You know, how are you feeling after all that?
I mean, it feels amazing winning the duo, even though I want to compete in solo as well. But hopefully this gives me confidence in solos, which makes me do better in solo next tournament.
Okay. One final question for you. This morning, you know, obviously yesterday was a huge day. You had a night to kind of sleep on it, and then you woke up the next morning. Did it sink in? You know, how did you feel the next morning when you're like, man, I'm a world champion?
It feels surreal. It doesn't really feel like I've won anything because it was so big. It was almost too big to imagine, but yeah, it feels amazing.
Well, again, massive congrats to you. One half of our world champions. Again, give him some love, Fortnite fam. Thank you again, Nyrox. Appreciate your time. Now, there's actually another player we want to talk about real quick, and that is Skite. He just won this second game, so let's see what he's got to say.
I'm Skite from Lustream. I'm French, coming from Paris. I've been preparing the finals by playing customs and playing every day with friends or mates. It was hard in the beginning because my wrist was a little bit broken, so I just wait and then I qualified for the boss in the last 2 weeks. I definitely want to thank my team because they support me a lot when I was playing qualifier. In here we are more aggressive and NA is a little bit slower, so we try to play a little bit safe. I think maybe Zayt is really good and I want to take him down. I don't think playing in Stadium will affect my my gameplay because I already did it. I love everyone and I'm just excited to play.
There you go. There you have it. I mean, Skite, this guy is amazing. I'm a big fan. Skite, you know this. I'm a huge fan. Now, guys, there's so many players. There's 100 here that I wish we could spend so much time talking to every single one individually. But let's actually dive in specifically to one, and that's a Mr. Vivid, you know, Mr. Clutchman himself. Unfortunately, it didn't work out for him there, but don't worry, he's going to bring some more heat. We actually had time to spend with him and his hometown, learn more about him, so let's watch this together.
I live in South Jersey in a small town. Population of under 1,000. You see a couple of cars pass by your house. It's quiet, so it's nice. Here, I played Fortnite at the highest level.
Vivid picks it up. Gets the elimination.
My name is Noah Wright,
Oh, yeah, bud.
also known as Vivid.
Let's go, dude.
I am 21 years old. I've been playing competitive Fortnite for almost a year now.
Vivid, a familiar name to a lot of fans.
What makes me a successful player is probably all the hours that I put into it. The schedule gets kind of crazy, but I'll keep myself in good shape. I will do a workout routine, 20 minutes on the exercise bike, 15 minutes of stretching, and then back to playing Fortnite.
Look at that! I don't know what's hitting you, bud. What's hitting you?
Just having fun.
Vivid popping off. Taking that victory royale. That was insane.
I live with my dad. We've always been really close. All he ever wants to do is fish. He takes care of everything around the house. It makes everything really convenient in terms of, playing games and just being able to focus on that.
Our schedules work pretty well. When I get done work, he's usually up gaming, so we do spend a little bit of time talking and going through the day's activities. Noah and I helped each other very much getting through the difficult time.
When I was 10, my mom passed away. She passed away to a cancer called small cell carcinoma. It definitely made me mature a lot. Made me realize how much my mom actually did for me.
Noah's mom had a very big impact on his life. She set the ground rules, making sure the grades were all straight A's, and he could go into gaming.
I credit a lot of my success to her.
Well done, Darren! But he's gonna catch him in the air, and Vivid's gonna get the victory royale! What a game from Vivid.
Knowing that I'm successful at doing what I love to do, that would just make her really happy.
Ready?
Yeah. Fortnite's granted me with a decent amount of money. I can help my dad out now, so I got on the boat.
He presented it to me for being a great father, bringing him up since their mother passed away.
I actually haven't been on the boat yet. So this weekend, I'm gonna go on the boat for the first time.
Getting him on the boat and back on the water again, one of my ultimate dreams.
Looks nice.
What do you think Mom would say?
She'd like it.
I love it. I want to thank you for this and everything. You made me happy. What do you think of your first trip out here?
It's nice.
Now you gotta come out more often.
Man, I'm gonna be honest. I'm trying to keep myself together right now. I know how you're feeling, Vivid. I am very close to my own mom, and she means the world. If you guys have a chance here to meet Vivid, he is genuinely one of the most hardworking, kindest people you will ever meet in your entire life. If you can say hello, take time to do it. I promise you will not be disappointed. And of course, Fortnite fam, we got to keep the games coming. Games are about to be underway. The players are back. They are ready to board the battle bus. So for now, we're going to send it back up to none other than Monster D-Face, Golden Boy, House DJ Mike Realm. Bring the heat.
All right, folks, we know you're excited to get into some more games, and good news, we got you covered. Welcome, everyone. Golden Boy alongside with Monster D-Face. We're going to call games 3 and 4 of the Fortnite World Cup Solos competition. And, man, you couldn't have asked for 2 better games to start things off, Monster. Craziness through and through, top to bottom. Best players in the world, and they're showing up here on the world stage.
I mean, you guys saw the reaction. Booga, with the insane game 1, had us jumping out of our seats, quite literally. And man, Sky, at the final moments, I thought we were going to see a victory comeback from Dubs with the Flint knock, shockwave to shake up the entire place.
Yeah.
But it was great.
Yeah, it was very, it was a nail biter. Let's just put it like that. But let's run over the format and how this whole thing's worked. So at top 25, players will start to get 3 points. Then we move on to 15th place. At that point, all the players that are still remaining will get an additional 2 points, making it a total of 5. Then after that, if they get to the top 5, they'll add 2 more points to that, making it a 7-point total earned for staying alive all the way until the end. But if you get that victory royale, you get a total of 10 points, so +3 coming out of the top 5 there. And each elimination is going to count for 1 point. So look for these players to play for the placement. Some, like King, want to play for those eliminations. And then the prizing, it's all on the line for $3 million for the first place prize. 1.8 million for second, 1.2 million for third, and then 1 million as well, plus for fourth. That is crazy. That's a lot of money.
You know, yesterday the duos had to split it. Today, it all goes to you, right? It's just a solo competitor. So, and everyone here is a winner. We're here to celebrate every single player that has made it this far. If you stepped onto this stage, you are already a winner.
The marathon that they took to get up to this point, bananas to say the least. 10 weeks, grueling competition in both solos and duos, and for a lot of our competitors they had to prep not just for the competition today, but also yesterday. Now we're already 2 games in. We had mentioned some of the players that had performed very well, right? You're Booga, who had a monumental game 1, and then you also had Skype, who was able to just outlive everyone else and stay alive. But it is Booga who still holds first place, but by 1 point, because Argentina's very own King is looking to contend that, and that is crazy. I mean, talking about aggression, this guy embodies it.
Yeah, you've seen him time in and time out. It's players like King that really make these tournaments interesting to watch for the spectators at home, for everyone here in the audience. You gotta have your King show up and bring that action all the way through to the end. And it's not to discredit anyone who made it this far. These guys are still in the running.
Yeah, it's only 2 games in. Games 3 and 4 are gonna be just as important. Players are gonna have to step it up if they wanna get within the top 20 here. There's just so much on the line. There you see Booga, who's getting ready, getting prepped up. Everyone is so hyped up here at the Arthur Ashe Stadium, and I don't even know what to expect, man. Game 3, like, what are we even gonna get? We're seeing early aggression here from a lot of the South American players. Our players that we talked to from North America and Europe said that was what they wanted to avoid, was the South American aggression, the OCE aggression, but this time it's South America that's showing up, Monster.
And not to bring it up, but you saw exactly what happened when King walked into Tfue. He just saw him trying to shadow bomb peacefully to the zone. They were not safe, by the way. They still had to make it through to Happy Hamlin, but King said, you know what, I'm gonna pause right here and I'm gonna take this fight. And that is how the Brazilian region does.
Yeah, that's how they do it, man. They just want to take the fight. They want to go right at your face. They don't care who you are. Listen, you can have millions of subscribers on YouTube. You can have all the Twitch Prime subs. You can have all the fame and the fortune. But at the end of the day, everyone that's in that game, they are all equal. There is no upper hand depending on how popular you are, and you shouldn't be treated that way either. You should just go at them with everything you got, because that's what it's going to take to walk out of New York City with $3 million in your pocket, which, by the way, you'd have to have a very big pocket for that.
Take a look there. Benji Fishy has been showing up.
I told him to play to the crowd. I said, play to the crowd. Have some fun with him.
Yeah, good to see him smiling. You know, we were there in the warm-up games. He was a little timid, but Benji, loosen up, buddy. There goes Mr. Savage. And the rest of our competitors, Creo, Kinstar, Vivid, of course. This is a big moment for everyone here. Game 3's close.
And it must be cool as well to see you guys. Give him a round of applause. He waved to everybody. He waved to everybody. You know, that's not bad. All right, so here we go, folks. It's now time to jump into game number 3 here for the Fortnite World Cup Solos competition. The countdown has begun. The players are loaded up in the battle bus. This is it. All on the line. Let's see who will take away another victory royale, or will we see one of our 2 winners get back-to-back wins, get double wins? That will be massive for them. Oh man, I'm excited, Monster.
And so far, Aqua has been the only player to prove that he can win on a stage of this magnitude. But just to give you guys a little context on the bus here, this is a bus coming from the south to the north side. So all of your competitors are going to get, yes, a fair split at the map here. And that's exactly what you like to see. You want everyone to have a fair shot at the map. So let's go and see as Skype is looking to land here. We saw Skype win that last game.
Yep.
It's just outside of Pleasant Park. He's probably playing for some ballers here in our top 10 over on the left-hand side here. Golden Boy, Booga, King, Commandment, Psalm, one of our competitive veterans doing so great right here. Even with that 1 win though, Sky is still in 6th place.
Yeah, it's wild to think about that. That's what it took for him to be able to climb up into the top 10. Only 2 eliminations to his name, currently standing. But we're gonna keep eyes for the time being here as we head on over to Junk Junction. There's a hot spot there as well.
We have talked to some players about landing for hot spots.
I actually just got word from production in the back. King has been eliminated off spawn.
Wow, that's huge. That's going to be a real big setback. We've seen players like Zayt and Saf really fall behind yesterday off of 1 game not going their way.
That is rough, man. That is certainly not going to be pretty for him. But hey, you have 3 more games remaining. You just got to shake that one off. Moving on, though, we're checking out the action at hand here. You're going to have Tuzel pushed right in. He's going to make him pay. That's going to be an elimination on to Fledimoys. Well done. Number 1 on the board.
I'll be honest, I wouldn't trust myself with that Magnum, but he gets right up on him and hits him in the chest. Here now with Crew.
That was the shot. Oh, Crew, no chill. Right on the sky platform, too.
That was how King was taken out. Couldn't even land safely. Got pinched right out the sky. That's rough.
Because there's nothing you can do. You're in a glider state. You're just floating down. You're hoping that no one's looking right at you. The players at this point, they're going to go for those shots, those open opportunities. Then you got Tuzi, who had just picked up an elimination earlier on. The circle is going to be over in the ice biome, so by the Polar Peak, Frosty Flights area, and it's also going to be within Pleasant Park as well. So the eastern part of the map, they're going to have to worry about moving on over to the safe zone. Now we're going to be looking at a crowd favorite here. We got Tfue.
Yeah,
Tfue had the best run so far.
He's been playing the blocks. He's been getting out of the block successfully. It's actually Clipnode who's been landing here from the Brazilian region. Again, known for landing on a weapon and pushing straight into whoever's at the block. But Tfue has successfully defended himself. Even in the warm-up games, T was winning all of the early game engagements. And, you know, shout out to Clip. He actually changed his strategy.
Clip went for a shot there.
Yeah, but Clipnode stopped pushing, though. He's not using the same strategy. He's actually adopted so far. But let's see what Tfue can do in these moments. He's chucking some perfect grenades across.
Yeah, in game 1, Clipnode ended up getting everything that he needed and then disengaged out of the block, whereas Tfue took a little bit more time to loot up, get as much as he possibly can. Clipnode from the Brazilian region here, who it's a possibility that he can take him out, but it's going to be very challenging.
And maybe it was just the difference in loadout. Maybe before he didn't have exactly what he needed. Now we can kind of peek into his loadout here. This is a very strong loadout. He's got everything he needs to stick around and take this battle. And that's why you see him playing with such confidence now. And this could just be his game.
And it was also admirable of him as well. You know, qualified week 9, last chance to do so. Argentinian player as well. Then you got Takamura now. Sees a player right in front of him. Happy Hamlet is where this fight's going to be taking place. As Clarity G really made it to the end game in game 2. Had high ground there for a moment. Thought he could have pulled that one off. Mr. Savage has eyes on Clarity G. Does put the pressure on him. Now Clarity's going to have to deal with a player that's behind and in front of him. So just shadow bombs on out of there. He's going to have another one to use as well in case he needs to pop it. But it doesn't seem like anyone's going to be paying any attention to him for right now.
There's over 6 players landing at Happy Hamlet, but we're jumping right into this battle right here. Unknown Army, who has had the time to prove to the world that he is here to bring the heat. Early on in our competitive days, Unknown Army was known. Take over, Golden.
This is it, man. Unknown Army, one of our first controller players. Actually, he was our first controller player to qualify for the Fortnite World Cup. Perhaps this is going to be the opportunity that he was looking for, Monster. Put himself on this stage. Get a big opportunity. Things have slowed down here for a moment. He's looking to overtake that roof. If he can get it, if he can get possession of that, head it on out. And that's Commandment. Commandment's going to be sitting at the top 5 if I'm correct currently. A good fight here between 2 quality players.
It's not a battle he wants to lose. There's a lot to prove here. Unknown Army, one of the few controller players in it. We saw Wolfies have a big day yesterday. That wall's his. He's got the aggro. The last one is not, though.
He's charging right in, and Commandment's going to have to get out of there. Didn't want to deal with that player. He knew the Unknown Army just had that beat on him wisely enough, and look at the health there. That's why Commandment does not want to go for that fight. He's going to be in dire straits right now, as Unknown Army does have the life lead.
He's just taking all of these platforms, too. He's gaining control slowly but surely. Nice little peek right there. He goes for the staircase first. So clean.
Doing this all with a controller. You know we have millions of players that play on controller at home, and he goes in, does apply white damage. One more, that's gonna do it. Commandment was in 3rd place, and Unknown Army now made him put in the place that he wanted him to. Dominant.
And a little taunt to throw some salt on the wound right there. Now hopping to the other side of the map, we have Blaster, who's looking for a vehicle. He does have a baller, and his main priority right now is metal and more loot.
Let's take a look here. We got Martine. He's got eyes on a target. Also using his Sky Stalker skin, one of my personal favorites. Charges forward with that drum gun, close range, but no! It was Low Boom who gives him the hands there. Fun fact, Christian, our boy from Fortnite BR Live, told me look out for Low Boom. Someone to definitely take eyes on. They did eliminate one another though. So Boom, not in this one. Maybe you can find some better luck in games 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah, that is the risk you take when you jump into someone's box here in the Fortnite world. Leshy, another controller player, bringing it back to the good old nostalgic Tilted Towers for that close-range PvP. He's going to get shot a few times right there, but still keeping his cool. He has plenty of extra shields and mobility. Shockwaves are going to be great for maneuvering around this congested area. That's what it is. 4 players in Neo Tilted right now. You have to be careful.
This is a controller battle, actually.
We'll see who can best one another here. Leshy's probably looking to take this wall. All right, he's gonna break into the building now, get that high ground over his opponent. Astonis is just waiting, not making a sound here, seeing if he can bait Leshy into a trap play. Let's see. He's gonna fall for it. Will he make a mistake? And that's really what it is, right, Golden?
Yeah, it is, it is. When players are on that stage here in the audience, the crowd, everyone cheering, there's obviously gonna be that added pressure. We talked with a few of the players before the game started today. The number one thing that I think everyone brought up to me was just the volume, right? The sheer presence of where we are. Some of them even went as far as to say, yeah, I don't think I'm gonna look up at all. I think I'm just gonna focus on the screen. That's what I know. No reason for me to try and go above and beyond anything else, right? Sometimes the moment can take you away.
You can see both points of POVs right here, both points of views.
Yeah.
They're looking to take any walls that they can just to gain control, have a little bit of an advantage here.
Yeah, this is basically like the Fortnite equivalent of an arm wrestling match right now. Maybe for some of our parents who are joining us here for the first time, haven't watched Fortnite before, they're really just struggling to try and get positioning over the other player. That is the struggle that they're wrestling with here. See, use wrestling again. Worked out well that time.
All right, Lesh this time has decided to commit. He is now down face to face. There's nowhere Astonish can run. He goes into it.
Oh,
lands
man.
the 2-shot. And that's the little tactic right there. If there's a ramp in front of the wall, you have to recognize you are in big danger because there's a nifty little trick to get you in that box.
Another one of my favorite players here. You got Legidian. He's going to be in a fight right now. Moves around the side, loses the high ground. Oh, man. That is rough. Legidian not having the best games at this point in time.
Pizza's placed 8th on average when he qualified in the online opens. On average, across every game he loaded into. That's very high for placement. And now he's picking up elims. Unfortunately, like we said here, Legidian just not really connecting the dots today, but it's not over yet. We're only halfway through this competition here.
There's Lechi who has to get out of there. Whew, that could have been very dangerous, but gets an elimination on Kinstar. A massive elim here for Leshi, who's sitting right now at 2 elims currently in this battle at Neo Tilted.
Representing for all the controller players across the world, Leshi, very dangerous. It's going to be a huge upset right there.
And you just get close range with a player like Leshi, and they'll punish you, right? When you have the controller, you have that little bit of the ability to just L-trigger. You're going to have, and I know some people are going to be like, oh, L-trigger, low, whatever. But the reality is, right, you got the full use of your arm. They have the use of your thumbs. But when you push in for there, you just don't want to box with them inside of that. It's very rough to deal with.
Maybe Ruck said it best, you know, just the age difference. Leshi's 15, you know, could just be a little faster than Kinstar here.
Yeah, I know. When I was 15, I was nowhere near as good as he was with a controller. So, and I competed for a very long time. Got Crew. Was just in this fight here for the moment. Does get ownership of the wall because that player does disengage above him, and he hears that movement all around. You also get an eye on the bottom right of your screen. You can see the mini map where players are going to be located. The player we're typically on is going to be that white triangle, but that blue triangle, that other player goes right in for the fight, is going to knock down the shield just a little bit there. He's going to have minis to be able to top himself back up.
This is very intense here, going.
Yeah. Yep. Shockwave. Yeah, you don't want to go for that fight. Shockwaves are so important. Players saving them for that late game. And in some cases, they'll just use it, disengage. You don't want to take a fight. There's no reason for you to do so. A lot of players playing cautiously, as they should, with what's on the line here. But Crew, oh, he marches forward. That's number 2 for Crew.
You can see the excitement there. Nice little smirking grin on his face. He throws a peace sign to the crowd when he takes that player Lucky right out. This Happy Hamlet area is so dangerous to rotate through. You have players like Mr. Savage. Now we see Left Eye and Kurtz. Left Eye was responsible, again, for a big upset in the last game, taking out the likes of some huge names towards the end game. But Kurtz here with a heavy sniper. Can he open up a base here and follow up with that infantry rifle? So he's coming up, he's getting his little peek on right here.
Yeah, I think Ninja yesterday had talked about the infantry rifle, how good that weapon is, and it truly, I mean, the accuracy that you get out of it is absurd. It's something that if you pick it up and you know how to use it, you'll be deadly out there in the field, which he has done a lot of times, Ninja, which is why he likes that weapon so much, and I would understand why a lot of our players will go for that as well. When you have the option to, why not? If you got that comfortability with it. Then you got Left Eye. 2 eliminations currently. Has 2 shockwave nades.
And you know, you got to give some respect to Left Eye, who completely left his previous job 6 months ago to fully focus in on competitive Fortnite. And he found himself at the Fortnite World Cup stage. I don't think it gets any better than that. That is a dream story here.
Yeah, in competitive gaming, you take those risks if you want it so badly. If you want it more than you have to breathe, you just go for that moment. You never know what's going to happen. This could very well be a lot of the people in this arena next year playing on that stage. Courage did say that they had the budget, so I'm just going along with what he said. You know?
All right, but here we have
Tfue.
Tfue playing his classic high ground. center map, more or less. He does have a lead for the next zone.
Yep, movement options for him, which in the last game, he had the shadow bombs. Didn't really pan out for him because King, very thirsty, went for just all the water he could possibly get out of that one. And I say he certainly was quenched in his thirst. But then Tfue, now this is, sometimes you're flying and then you just become a magnet, and that is unfortunate.
It's Clarity G who picks up Tfue. Unfortunately, right there with one wall open from behind him.
That's
not
so
placed
difficult.
down, unfortunately.
That's so difficult. There are times you fly into the sky and then the entire server just looks right at you.
It's all about timing in Fortnite here, but that's the risk you take. So now looking at Link here. Link putting some pressure up above. Remember, Storm Surge is in effect in these games, so you have to be hyperactive. You have to be proactive for seeking for damage. But when you commit to battle, you are more than likely gonna have to finish that battle. Here we have Robabs. He's kind of looking up. He's holding that edit though. He is ready to open it up. I think he's gonna trade fire as soon as Link goes for the shot. Now they're both, they're both playing that little mind game right here. Who's gonna go first now?
New circle, now active.
This is what we like to call a shambles loadout, as Link doesn't have much loot.
No, doesn't have much loot, doesn't have much HP either. He's gonna have to try again in the next game. It's Robabs does manage to get the better. Oh man, this is intense. Now we're at 62 players remaining. Some players taking fights, others really just focusing on staying alive, staying in this one to the placement points.
That's right, and now we have Leshy back with Leshy. We saw him in Neo Tilted, taking out the likes of Keemstar, Astonish in these 1v1 battles. Clearly not afraid to jump in your box. And oh man, with a loadout like this, 6 shockwaves, 3 launch pads, all the ammunition in the world, and zone favor right now. He is looking very good in game 3 right now.
Yeah, he's got a lot of builds. He's got tons of stuff to work with. No reason why Leshy can't make it to that end game. This is going to be interesting. Controller player. Let's not forget yesterday, Wolfie's controller player getting 2nd place here in the Fortnite World Cup Duos competition, along with his teammate Rojo. Here's Leshy though, applying the pressure. With that shockwave nade, he gets right on top of a nice spot, nice position, kind of planning himself, understanding a player's going to be around there, but now all these players looking right at him as he just has to play defense. No choice. Gets tagged up a little bit, loses some of his shields. But he'll be okay for the time being.
The amount of players you see on the stadium side that once he's shown his self to that angle right there and everyone just collapsed on him, that is so scary. And it's still coming in, but he's fending himself off, punishing another player off to the east side right there. Here's Leshy. If he can figure out that that player is the same one that just tried to make a move on him, could spell disaster for Evil Mare.
Evil Mare doesn't have much to work with regarding health, right? He's sitting at just above half HP. Right above him is going to be Clash. Got Peasus as well. Down low on the flooring. There's Clash. Good loadout as far as weaponry is concerned. Also has that glider with the HP that he has currently. Ugh. Might want to take advantage of a shadow bomb or something like that rather than exposing yourself to the sky. But this is another play from earlier on, I believe. Or actually, no, Storm Surge active currently, and we are in live. Apologies there.
So he's sitting on 2 ballers here. You see one here. He knows his opponent's gonna have to go for one, but I guess a little bit of scouting here is gonna realize someone's waiting, baiting all of the loot as well.
Also off screen, Leshy did take out Evil Mare. You mentioned that before, Monster. Ended up happening. And then Storm now, 65 HP. Where is this player that went in for the fight?
It's Wakey. Wakey's right nearby. Storm and Wakey are sitting now in the zone here. Biding time here. Wakey, 3 eliminations, tied up for the most elims in the game so far. You have Wakey, Leshy, and Aspect, all at 3 eliminations so far.
Just under 50 players remaining in game number 3. Players have boxed up. They want to play this slow game. Wait for anyone to make a mistake. It's going to be hard, but for some players like Dubs, they're going to need it. Because thus far, it has not gone well for, I would say, one of the favorites here.
Dubs did go for the shot, unfortunately could not connect. It looks like Clarity's gonna pick up Core Gaming there instead. Dubs, we saw in the previous game, do that baller all the way to the end game.
Yep.
Really playing slow and methodical here. You can't stand still. Dubs has definitely found himself a target nearby.
You see some, I think they're just looking at each other. They know exactly what's going on. The circle's gonna be closing down now. We're gonna find out where the next one is. And that's when players start to prioritize these rotations, the movement. Dubs does have a baller, which has been his strategy. He did it in game 2. He had the baller pretty much all the way until the end there. Got shot out of it, but it did bring him to a 2nd place finish. Another top 3 finish for him, top 5, top 3, maybe even a victory royale, right? But ideally that,
You tried to catch him right there. You saw that?
Wild.
You wanted to put him in the box for a second there and take it.
Trapped him right there. Player will have no idea what to do at that moment.
That's actually pretty interesting as well, because Class is desperate right now for an Elam. He has to really feed off of a Siphon. He doesn't have any other way to heal. Even taking the safety edits, making doorways so that he doesn't expose himself even for the slightest bit.
84 builds left for Class. Tons of builds here. And then the Storm. Now the Storm's starting to push. Look at Lecce, still going for shots as players are moving about. I think I saw a player get right in his face. He did pop that shadow bomb. Now we're going to the game 1 winner, Bugha. He's dealt 420 damage in this match. Hasn't taken a single shot. 1 elimination for him right now. As now the action feed begins to fall. You see so many names getting eliminated one by one. Bizzle out of this one. That was from Lecce, who's having one heck of a game, taking out some big names.
And it is really going down right here. You can just kind of breathe in this overhead view right here.
Man.
Bella EU doesn't even realize he has the high ground right now. Clarity G just nearby as well. Bugha at the upper layers in this end game, just trying to avoid that lower ground congestion.
Yeah.
All these players are just slammed in the middle right here. As Andretta gets the high ground. We haven't seen much of Andretta so far. But you got to be careful. Those shockwaves will really sting and take that placement from you.
Yeah, he has been laying low so far, but does manage to maintain the high ground. Lost it for a brief moment, but wisely enough went outside of the Storm to regain some of those builds. On the right side of your screen, you got Bugha and Lecce. Lecce, a great game that he's managed to put together with 5 eliminations. Bugha, your game 1 winner, maybe looking to get a 2nd win on the board. How massive will that be for your current 1st place player?
Lecce just picked up his 6th elimination now. He is really popping off right here.
That was on Hoodjay too, a big player there, and a big connection for him. Lots of builds to work with. Bugha does get another one. That's Kinzel.
Right through the trap he goes. Bugha, one of the superior box fighters in the Fortnite competitive scene right now.
Lecce went up for the high ground. If you see it on the left side, he went high ground. He does get possession of it, but ends up getting hit there by Andretta and finally eliminated. But what a run Lecce had in this game. Finally comes to a conclusion when he went for high ground. Now it's Bugha. Again, with 11 players remaining, we're about to get into the top 10 here, Monster.
Bugha last we saw, he does get taken out right there. Unfortunately, it's Peter Pan who takes him out with 6 eliminations. Peter Pan, the dark horse right now. He's gonna get wiped out here too, but it's still a great game. Wakey, who we saw leading in eliminations at one point, is still popping off as well.
Skyte's in this one as well. Maybe he's gonna get a back-to-back win. Riverson, he's got the high ground, he's got the explodes, he sees players, he has 11 builds, so he has to be very conservative with this. Does pop that player in the baller, forcing them down. Going in for the engagement now. More explodes, 5 remaining left. Player lands in front of him, and he tags him up for a lot of shields there, and Riversand has to reset, needs to be careful not to get hit by that Storm. Someone's gonna be above him!
He's too good!
An elimination onto Skyte. We're now sitting at a 1v1. 2 players left standing here. Who's it gonna be down low? It's Dubs! It's Dubs down low! And Riversand has Dubs on his site! Who's gonna get the win here? Riversand navigating, tarping. He has 7 builds remaining. Dubs trying to play defense, giving himself any kind of cover that he can possibly maintain. But Riversand, a few more explodes remaining. That could punish Dubs.
He's really trying to keep him down to the zone here, Golden Boy.
Oh man, this is it. He sends another one out, and they're just telling him you gotta run. He goes into it. He's still holding position. Dubs has the high ground, but he gets in front of him, and Dubs gets a victory royale on the world stage.
Absolutely incredible for Dubs to connect. Finally hits all of his shots, and nearly a back-to-back performance right there. That is the kind of comeback story you want to see here on the main stage.
Prove to the world that you're the greatest to ever do it. But you gotta give credit to Riversand. Second place finish for him there. Had the high ground, had the splodes, but it was Dubs who managed to get the better of Riversand. And look at this unfold right here. Riversand had the Rockets looking right at Dubs, and Dubs just needed to play defense. Riversand had no more builds to work with, and Dubs recognized he had the high ground. He just needed to go in there for the clothesline, and he nails it with that green pump.
That is the name of the game. You cannot miss your shots when you fully commit. Dubs and Mega sitting side by side. What a better player to have nearby you. Arguably probably his best friend right here in the competition.
Hey man, that was nuts. What a game from Dubs. And what a journey he's had. 4-time qualified. We know that he is a unit when it comes to solos. Finally getting that win. So second place in game 2. Game 3 gets first place. He has to be feeling very good about that.
That is the kind of performance he was looking for, and it must feel good to finally solidify a victory over the course of the weekend.
Yeah, it's like it's just a load off your shoulders, man. Honestly, because I've been talking to him quite a bit, and he's like, I just want to get this win. Now with that, Dubs goes up to third place. At the top, though, Skype, he managed to make it to the end game, as well as Booga. So, our 3 winners, 1, 2, and 3, in the order of which
they took their
games.
victories.
Game 1 was Booga, Game 2 was Skype, and Game 3 was Dubs. 19 points, 1 point shy of taking second, and Booga, way to hold on to that positioning at the top of the mountain.
King is still here too, as is Psalm, as is Commandment. They've all been in the running, but that was a great fight to see the West and the East clash in those final moments.
I love it, man. I love it. Another, we look here at 11th through 20th. Epic Whale, Fwexy, and Issa all managed to get up in the standings here, as well as Left Eye and Wakey. Oh, what a game that was. Game 3 did not disappoint, but I did get word that we have Dubs standing by with Jordan Fisher to get his thoughts on that win.
A massive, massive victory royale for Dubs here, a definite crowd favorite. A lot of people really excited to see you play today. 2 games in a row, 1v1 situations. Obviously, you're playing for placement here, and we're seeing this action happen in real time. Your baller maneuverability, you're staying in the baller for so long, obviously helped you win that right there at the end. Yo, the Rockets are coming down on you hard. What are you thinking in this moment? You're trying to get high ground. What's going on?
Last game, I was just purely playing for placement and try to hold out in the ball, and it worked.
Obviously, we got that victory. Okay, going into these next matches, you're sitting in a pretty great position right now, if I do say so myself. What are you thinking? What strategy going into this right now?
I'm just going to keep trying to play consistent, and I should be good.
Golden Boy, Monster D-Face, it's feeling amazing down here. How's it feeling up there?
I think the feeling's mutual, my friend, because these have been excellent games. I love duos, right? You and I, we talk about all the time, right? We love casting duos. But there's just something special about when it's just you, the game, solos, competition, the way Battle Royale was meant. Dare I say, to quote Dr. Lupo, the ultimate Battle Royale experience.
There's just no room for error in solos. There's no, buddy there, no battle buddy.